So this is our 9 units of module 1, and today we'll do the last part of Okay. It's a long time that parents and relatives come close. That's right. This is the okay. So in preaching or missionary activities, one special group for a special target group of preaching, quote unquote, is parents, relatives, and old friends. So, have you read this introduction? Let's do it again. Can you?
Conflict between spiritual and material visions is nothing new.
Ah, again?
Conflict between spiritual and material vision is nothing new.
Nothing new. Okay, so don't be surprised. Some conflict is there. Okay.
From ancient times to the most recent, there has always been resistance when a member of the family or a close friend chooses a more spiritual path through life. Brahma and his sons, the 4 Kumaras, had their confrontation. Daksha protested to Narada Muni when he instructed his sons in renunciation. Buddha, Jesus, and the saints of all religions have had all the have to contend with those who did not share their vision. Still, when visiting parents and relatives or even old friends, devotees should bear certain things in mind. Here is a list of important reminders and tips.
Okay, so before we start to go to the list, do we remember what is the purpose of this material world? To
Remember, to yes, to re-educate and to re-educate us to fix to come back. Krishna.
Is one and second? Why this material world is there?
Desires, material desires.
Okay, true. So one is to fulfill our perverted desire to play the role of God, which means 2 things: enjoyer,
To enjoy and to
control. This is the ego, right? This is the symptom of ego. To control and to be enjoyed. To control and to be enjoyed. This is one purpose. The majority is like that. Kali Yuga especially, of course, upper planets, that scale up to Brahmaloka, they are not so gross as we are here in Kali Yuga, in planet Earth, right? And the second is this is like material perspective, right? And the second is that this material world has every opportunity and gives a chance that every living entity can rectify his free will. Free will, this is a very important word, free will. Svobodno lahko spreobrnemo nazaj Krishna, because free will is the essential part of love. There is no love without free will. That's why there must be alternative to the free will, right? If you have one object of love and no alternative, free will doesn't have any chance to put somewhere else. That's why material world is there. You have alternative, right? Otherwise, no, there you don't have to choose between two options, right? Where's the free will? I have only one. There is. So this is the one perspective of this eternal question: why we are here, right? Why we? How is that we fall from spiritual world where nothing was missing, right? This is very puzzling question or dilemma, which is questioned in any philosophical debate which we go to the. So there are two options. So this is always this, and this is in a very high level of reality, and also comes also to the level of our life, parents, relatives, and even our inner consciousness, right? Material desires are spiritual, there's always this duality, which is the reflection of this foundational principle, right? What is the purpose? It's reflected in every level of existence. And the second section, well, okay, so no one is excluded. Not even Jesus, Buddha. Prabhupada also, not mentioned, Prabhupada also has difficulty.
Me or the tea.
Yeah.
That is why.
Tea or me or the tea.
Tea or me.
Then he,
But
yes,
but
yes, this is.
the only problem, the books is
Yes. Cookies or
change books for the cookie.
cookies or Bhagavatam set. Okay, so let's go to this. Okay, let's start with this list. Each one can read one. Can you start? Then you start here.
We must always respect our parents.
So this is the one very important perspective. We have to respect our parents, no matter what they are. Can be demon. Maybe they are demon. That sense to definition what is demonic, right? In the Gita. But they can. Who is the most? One of the most profound example in the Shastra who respect his parents. Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam is not only that he respect father, he pray. He prayed for his father. Not only that, when Hiranyakashipu, when Lord Nrsimhadeva appeared to fulfill his desire, what he asked? He asked first thing not for himself, but please save this rascal, father, This is the highest standard, right? So we have to respect in our how we can also philosophically understand that our fortune is that we came in this body in contact with devotional service. This is after billions of years, due to mercy of the Guru Parampara, devotees who are, instrument of Krishna's grace, Guru's grace. And this is one part. Another part is also the persons who give us who are the external reason for our body. Our parents, they give us this body, this machine, this facility, that we have opportunity to engage in devotional service. So we have this gratitude towards those who make this possible. So it's very important to philosophically have also. It's not just sentimental, but it's also it is a validated argument and foundation why we have. So it's important. And this also, of course, doesn't mean there are two things. One is respect, and then how we show this respect is also is a form of respect, right? For example, I will give you an example. Respecting every living entity, because super soul is in the heart. For example, we respect tiger, because in the tiger's body's heart there is a Paramatma, right? Who is the Lord? We respect. But how we respect, how we show respect. It's not that we, you're my brother, you're Paramatma, and you fuck him, because tiger will start to chant Sharira Vijajal, right? Kako izkažujemo spoštovanje, ni da ga objavimo, ker če nam objavimo, smo tako malce njegove. So we respect from the distance. If we are not able to deal as we think that we should not like that we associate with them or we contact them, we can also destroy our spiritual life. So it's important that we have this proper discrimination and maturity how to deal with them in the proper way. If they are offensive, and they are, we respect from the distance. We don't go and associate with their mentality, and they criticize or they influence with the tamaguna, with anger and that. So we have to. If you are not spiritually strong enough, if you are spiritually strong enough that we can, we can pacify them and inspire them and maybe even transform them, then it's different. But usually it is rare. It is rare that it's possible. Of course, it happens also. Krishna can do anything, but usually we have to be careful and mature to deal with them. So, but respect is always there, no matter in which situation they are. Okay? Okay, so this is first point. Second point, can you, Natika Chandrika, read?
Bhakti lahko govorijo z njimi o drugih stvarih, neizrecno Krišni.
Yes, so Lord can speak with them other things too, not exclusively. So should be aware of this. Sometimes those say, I don't go home because they don't speak Krishna Katha. It's rare that they speak. It's rarely possible. If that is possible, it is a great mercy. You can speak and they become something like that.
Lower our level to.
Yeah, we speak. We are attentive. We try to. Of course, here is also we have to be careful if there are some tamasic or things which are very how to say in tamaguna. We also should be careful. If some kind of dealing with the need, or killing animals. So this is in our tradition is often. If you go in winter time, they have this slaughter. So it's also. So we have to be a little also sober. But it's not, we speak about, of course, things which they are relevant and try. Usually it's also, if you pray to the Lord, Krishna, or the Holy Prabhupada or Guru, please give me words or opportunities that I maybe also can speak in glorifying you, my Lord. And Krishna can also, otherwise you speak about, be friendly and try to. If you pray, Krishna can inspire words that we say that also they show interest. And especially it's not good that we go into some kind of conflict, debate. Oh, no, Hare Krishna, this kind is not productive, usually. So we can speak also other things, not only about Krishna. If we can, even better. Next.
The relationship shouldn't be disturbed by our involvement in Krishna consciousness. It should continue just as before. Okay, this is the criterion. So we should not be discouraged in our process if we go to visit them, right? Or relationships. So we should not. If they discourage us in Krishna consciousness, it's not good. Somehow, or they,
sometimes, of course, situation, oh, why are you doing this? Be normal, why you dedicated life to Krishna? This can, if it does not influence us, if we are smiling and expecting, but if we are like affected, that I have to hear every time when I come home, you can be discouraged, or even you can generate doubt. If you're not strong enough, we're still weak, what my friends, especially what my friends will say, they knew me before differently and they are completely changed. And this is we are not, it's hard to be indifferent because we're not so usually we're not so highly elevated in consciousness that we are not influenced, right? Can happen, right? We have some weakness, whatever. So relationship should not be disturbed by involvement in Krishna consciousness. This also means that we should not be, our relationship with the parents or friends should not be worse. That is more in the sense that we are disturbed, or they are disturbed. Actually, shouldn't be disturbed by other one. Next.
Ko je Šrila Prabhupada stanoval v Agravalsu, naprimer, in so ljudje kadili, in je rekel, ne skrbijo za njega, ni ga motilo, ni ustvarjal težav za nikogar, kuhal je zanje, delil je njihov užitek, vstajanje dojenčka, lahko je govoril o vsakodnevnih temah, kot so sesalec, vedno je bil zelo prijazen in užitek je bilo biti v njegovi družbi.
Yes, so it's interesting, huh? Even if they smoke, even if they eat meat, sometimes devotees, when we are very enthusiastic, we start to preach, why are you eating meat? And that in the public, this is meat eating, you go to hell, this is Ugra Karma, like that. So it's, or smoking, this is against, Sattva Guna, your Tamasic, it's especially should not confront. Usually we don't confront in the public, that we have big, we can, if we have a close relationship with the person, we can speak with humility and, approach person, maybe this thing is not the best thing. I heard that this is not the best because of this. You can try to explain, but not in an aggressive way, or you want to change. It's just out of care of them, if they accept, of course, if you have this trust relationship, it can, no? Usually what works is when they see change on us, positive change. If they see, this is, first of all, they ridicule, they don't accept, they laugh at you. But after sometimes you're consistent and, for a long time, and we see positive, they are impressed, right? Because this is high values, right? Values of Sattva Guna. It is respected for, some person who has a kind of piety, or they are pious people, or kind of moral people, or some kind of sattvic also, they respect this kind. One who is in Tamasic usually don't respect because it's attacking him, his values, right? Because it's conflict of values. But those who help and share these values, they appreciate after some time, and they are open. So we have to. The best teaching, preaching is our own example and behavior. Yes.
Ko povem primer, sem bila včeraj pri hčerki in je pripravila makarone s tuno. In ona dve sta obe meni kupili posodo, ko nikoli nisem nič omenjala, v 2 posodici. In potem je imela solzne oči in je rekla, mama, a jih boš hranila? Sem nekako seveda ljudi. Mislim, to je z makaroni za tuno, ker je tuna.
Otroci.
Ja, sem rekla, vi seveda. Mislim, jaz sem tvoj gost v tvoji hiši in če ti daš svojim otrokom makarone s tuno, mislim, je meni pomembno, da ti meni ponudiš, da jih jaz hranim in si želijo, kot pa, a ne. Mislim, nikakor pa ne grem v trgovino, že od začetka, nikomu nič ne prinesem, recimo, da bi bilo karkoli mesnega ali krmljenega. Ampak tukaj sem pa avtomatično, evo in danes, evo sem pa hotela še vprašati, se mi pa zdelo to toliko prednostno, toliko človeško to narediti, da sem začela potem šla četati, ampak a je v redu tako.
Oh, this is you understood?
No.
Yeah. So she, she visited her daughter with the children, and she, of course, they make their meal, and you reclame še lahko.
Ja, pa čisto odloči mama biti to lahko.
Because she was caring for them, and she asked if she can feed them with that food, with the meat, which can be very delicate, right? This is a very interesting situation. We have many principles inside. Of course, one is participating in giving meat to others is one very, very sensitive stuff.
Oh, she asked you to feed.
Yes, because she knows they have tears in eyes, mama. But yes, of course, you guess, I love my children. I can't change nothing in your house. I'm not in a position.
Yeah, one is this, that we are guests. Of course, we are not this owner. We are not, because sometimes also children want to change the parents, but they are in inferior position because they are because you live in their ashram, so they have the rules, right? And so you have to follow the rules of the ashram because you're a guest there. You're not in the responsible position. So we cannot change. We can advise, but we cannot force anything there, right? We can say humbly, but otherwise we have to have our own independence and go away. That's how it works. But this is one principle. So we are as a guest. Then, of course, another very important thing is exchanging six items of exchange. Right? You remember in the nectar instruction. Nectar dynasty, there are 6 things which create intimate relationship. So when we are offered something in love or in affection, right, as a gift or whatever is there now, or food in this case, or service or something. If we, especially for someone who is close to us, like parents, or for example, if mothers gives food to the child, right? And if we no, I will not take like that. It's like that attitude is like cut grossly. Then this is very how to say, disturbing. It's very, so when this is the similar situation, right? With parents, parents and the child. So we should be very careful how this exchange of love is there. It's not like with the stranger.
If she would refuse, then maybe you would hurt her.
Yes.
This
is beda. So you have one not giving meat, and here not to spoil the loving exchange.
And she would be careful next time.
She is careful. First and second daughter, they bring me the new pots just for me,
Yes, she bought. Yeah, this is so we should be very careful with this principle, not to spoil the loving exchange, right? Which is there because it's natural, of course, because we are related as parents and child, And of course, that is it can be very impersonal, no? So when we have this opposite principle there, so then we decide. But how we decide is also, so one is that we are aware of this other principle, but when we are in this situation, we take shelter of the Lord. No? Krishna, in this situation, please forgive me. I know it's not proper. So you are not like, yes, I will do it no matter what. No, your attitude is sheltering. That means it doesn't degrade us. If you neglect one principle and we are neglectful or arrogant, that, breaking the rule can degrade us. Understand? But we are aware and taking shelter, we are protected from degradation. Because it's not proper also. So we have to have this sheltering attitude. No? And also, Krishna, please protect me of this situation. I know it's not good. No, it's like that.
And acum mislim do conta, can I say to the end, there be a joke in the end. One girl, she take the macaroni and tuna and eat macaroni and put it out. And she said, daughter say, oh, grandmother is so happy. Mom, are you having your heart in your mind something? No, we're not very happy.
Yes, this is, and they understand. And they understand why you are not taking and that probably they understand. Yeah, and another thing here is also important, that this is usually we want to solve immediately things. Some things are not solved immediately. You have to be patient for it. But this is a long run. No, I want to, it must be like, taking care now. No. This is marathon. Our, end line is not now. It's the end of life, right? So we have to be also, okay, it doesn't, okay, no, it doesn't go. We have this, okay, we try to correct, but it's not now. We have to solve now, because it's not something, it's time.
Is today 10, 11, 12, is 11, 10? So just now, years back, I stopped eating meat. It was 10, 11, 12.
Are we?
10 of November 2012.
2012.
Yeah, when I
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just remember that.
Well, you have data, yes. Yes. So it's many things. So that, but it's usually, it's not. In the beginning, we don't have this discrimination. We don't have this maturity. So we do some, I would say, imbalanced decisions or steps, which are also part of our development. But usually, this maturity can take many years, many decades, even lifetimes to be mature. How to react in situation where is opposite is beta, right? Remember this expression, beta is like that, is not like that. Which principle you and how to decide which perspective we decide. It depends on our spiritual practice, right? That's why we do sadhana, right? We do proper decisions, because materially mind is black and white, and we don't have why decide like that. We can decide wrongly, out of our conditioning vision, or our experience or our feeling, which is not absolute criteria for decision. So in this, if with the sadhana we become subtle, and with subtlety we can be connected with the super soul. That's the point. Then Krishna, as a super soul, inspire us to decide properly if we are in tune with him, right? To the practice, to the prayers, to the fine tuning values, right? So this is how what maturity means. We became subtle that we can, we say intuition, but intuition means Paramatma. No? Intuition also became a speculation of the mind, right? But what if you're not practitioner of the if you're not connected with the higher consciousness, right? So this is important. So yes, we tolerate, of course, and we try to, with our example, try to even with our presence, we influence the atmosphere, right? Now they are aware that that someone is here who they're aware she does need meat. Okay, we will do less. Something they have some kind of consideration, like her daughter. Oh, I know you don't give. They have. Otherwise, they don't say in the ordinary world, right? They don't say to other person, oh, he's eating. Just give tuna. They don't consider it's tuna. No, but for her, she says, oh, that is tuna. Maybe she will not be able to give. Right? She was. So that's why Paramatma is also there, also making some kind of doubt in the person, and it's transforming, right? So there is some kind of like a small fire, which maybe will blaze into the big one. Okay, next.
We can be patient because we will continue to be their kids for the rest of their lives.
Exactly, we address patient, right? We have to be patient, not to. And Krishna has his own plan, right? Even if things are from our eyes impossible to change, Krishna can change. And it's an interesting principle on which Krishna can change. Maybe not so much because of them, their desire, but the purity and intention of our devotional service. If we are becoming dear to Krishna, whatever is there, connection with devotee is Krishna will purify. So this is a famous example. If one becomes devotee, how many generations are solved, in the back. I heard many examples. You heard about this?
Yes, it's also in Bhagavad Gita.
Is that also in Gita? I think Bhagavad also. So if one becomes a devotee, beginner, 7 generations is liberated in the back and in the front, right? If one becomes middle devotee.
Also brothers.
Sorry?
Also brothers.
Generations. So this means whatever is connected. Generation means all families, all dynasty, whatever the sign. And then if one becomes a middle level, then it's 21, I heard, and one is become pure devotee, 100 generations up and down connected with devotee. So it's if you become dear, that's why we become dear to Krishna, then everything is purified and becomes dear to Krishna also, whatever is connected, even though they're not their desire, right? So it's important that this should also stimulate. That's also how we help others, parents, that we become serious, that we become dear to Krishna. This is important, right? Okay, next one.
Poskusite razumeti, kako morda oni vidijo vaše sprejemanje vdanega življenja.
Try to understand how they may view our acceptance. That means that we try to step in their
I'm always doing
boots.
that. It's okay.
Yeah? How they.
Understand the other one if you walk in his shoes.
Yeah, this is also. He shows how they perceive. They must be strange for them, they don't accept so quickly. So so we try to understand, try to be empathic, right? Next one.
Be careful of the tendency to zealously share your enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness with your family or friends. It may not be morally appropriate.
This is zeal, right? With everyone, we are enthusiastic. Yes, I will explain Bhagavad Gita, explain that Krishna exists, And in this over enthusiasm, usually don't have this discrimination or empathy. We don't put ourselves in their shoes, right? We just want to, overflow, and they're seeing what happened to him. to her, what it's like. So we have to be careful. Here's a warning, right? Usually in the beginning, we're always very enthusiastic. And then when we see that doesn't, affect them as it affect us, we are a little, okay, they are not on the same pace, right? So we have to also accept and respect that, because they are independent, right? They have own free will, and we should not break or like that. Okay, next one.
Počasi in postopoma prilagajajte starše, ne naložite jim na njih vsega naenkrat. Na svet, ostanite v rednem stiku s svojimi starši.
Yes, so gradual, little by little, time, right? Time. Don't load everything onto them at once. We have to be patient and try to be regular, that we are not neglect from that. In that sense, I have experienced this also, that if you gradually, then they also become devotees. No, by it was all these phases where the person were over enthusiastic. Of course, they don't understand, and then they are, what is this? No need, like that. All this kind. But then when they see, that they are changes, they see and they start to appreciate, even they don't tell directly, but they tell indirectly, because you have to understand one thing. When children becomes devotees, and their parents, they have their own social network, your child became Hare Krishna. So it's social pressure for them. Also, we are not aware of this. They're also under their pressure, and if they don't understand, they're upset, right? If they also, it's true, they're Hare Krishna, they have all this negative probably image about Hare Krishna, how they will steal everything from, everything, will take in, will sell everything. It's like different situations. So it's usually every parents go to that situation. They are under social pressure. And I hear after many years later, when I was told, how they deal, and I heard how they defend. No, it's okay. They're becoming much better. They don't. There's much. My father was a butcher. He was in the village. He was Sar. And he stopped. Of course, then after he stopped because he didn't want to do this because he wanted, but he wanted to please the people. This is like in the village is like different. Yeah. Because no one is there, so someone has to do it, and he was doing how to please the people. And in this, and then they appreciate, and they became vegetarian, and they start chanting also. It's like, and then when they pass away, we had Hare Krishna funeral. When was this funeral? It was all about bhajans. Nothing was dark, It was like this picture was there at the same Panchatat was in the. And then of course all this when in this situation when the funeral there was speaking only about this, because we were like that. I was like that, and my brother also passed away now. But we were like that. So in the village, what that means in the village, there's a cultural shock. But with Krishna mercy, we were able to. So and relatives after they appreciate, how we were brave, amongst all these uncles, big uncles, socially positioned, how they, when was a situation about, about the feast after, this Sedmina, when, after we went into the local Still how it's called, you know, in a local how it's called, pub, not pub, but like a restaurant, kind of pub restaurant, local village one, you know. And we said there will not be meat, no alcohol, no. It was like all uncles come, you know, when my mother died. No, all uncles come to my father. No, this is impossible. This will be disgrace. This will be no. This will be, you know, it will be like a biggest offense, you know. And father asked me what to do. He said, this feast is not for them, but this is for mother's pleasure, right? This is for her benefit, right? And he was, wow, yes, right? He was then was and we explained, and then after when it was finished, they came to me, all the big uncles now. And they will appreciate, wow, this is.
Yeah.
This was really, I said, wow, this is really, you're very good. Like that, no? So they and when the father died after 2 years also, then they already know, they're ready. And now when Venkata, but my brother died, you know, they also, and we have the 42 kids of his, no? He had some scars, you know, he was also there. So they also come again, and they also, but they're already, you know, they're already inquiring. They're also, then, you know, some aunties and all other, you know, nephews, and, you know, they already, you know, oh, they know, they already, I also like this, you know, they came like this. So it's like that. We don't know what's happening, but Krishna is purifying us. And we as devotees, we try to be a medium, you know, instrumental. You know, the prasadam bhushan is there, you know, appreciation. We try to connect them somehow. So we should not destroy the bridges, you know, crash the bridges which are connected. Okay. Preaching play exercise. Okay, this is it's the last. Let's see what is here. Pair up and create play that will show the audience what should be done and what should not be done. This is this, right? Think of the situation yourself. Don't tell the audience what you want to show. Let them tell you at the end and see if they picked up all of your points. Have fun, okay? The last quote. Save yourself, save others. This is our Krishna consciousness movement. First of all, save yourself, then try to save others. Or both things can go on simultaneously. If you want to save somebody who's drowning, you must know that I'm not to be washed away. I have to remain strong, then I can save him. This is very important. Things we discuss also when we mention parents. We have to be strong. We have to be, we should maintain our Krishna consciousness very healthy. And so that will be able to help them. Right? This is very important. If you just want to save, but we can be, because we are not yogis. We have to nourish ourselves to be the instrument of that, right? And to be instrument, we have to be connected, right? Otherwise, we lose the vision of the. So this was the last point. This is now appendixes, which is there. So okay, this we have cleanliness. Okay, there we said that we'll address in 20 minutes. One thing I prepare some material for you also. It's in Slovene for you. It's not completely the same, but it's maybe very interesting. I will give once in English, so they have also English. But this is not the same. But this is from the deity worship book. 6 division of purity and cleanliness. I will. Yeah, it is about Pancharata Pradipa is there. It's called. Let me see if I hit here. Let me see.
Maybe we should make in the ashram when we have the Namita on the wall, on paper, also in English, like first brushing teeth and then shower, and like this, not short to be visible for everyone.
Or put it in.
Yeah.
But it's better that you put it somewhere with the mirror in a compartment, so,
Also there.
No,
Yeah.
because we don't have a lot of light.
Yeah, also.
Huh?
But if when people are sitting and they can see what is there written. They are sitting.
You don't want what you want to the wall, and just see it, or the read who is come in ashram and doing, and follow this.
Everybody.
We can do it too. Yes. Nice suggestion.
Because maybe there are people who are coming and we are not there, or we cannot explain them, and they don't know. Or,
No, I think also that this, where is the prostata hodnik? It's come people who is not living there, and maybe I think if we put in a lot of things in the wall, rules that maybe it's not good for people who's just coming here. In a Kopanica is good because it's Kopanica, it don't go to everyone. Some people it's come not in see just, and maybe it's if they come, yes, no, they go this, they say, oh my God, here is something.
Yeah.
Here.
Maybe on the door.
Yeah, Kopanica, super. I put like a mirror. No, we don't have a place. Una brata.
Yeah.
You see how to go.
Or where we have a wash machine. Brata.
Because people don't know that it's important to brush your hair before dress. Sari. No? When you are already dressed in sari and you are brushing your hair, the hair will be on the sari and welcomes dear and the
Yeah,
name.
yes, name, yes,
Very
yes,
personal.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, if you want,
I want
do this, please. No, please,
Talking to
just
someone.
prepare what you have, what kind of ideas you have, please. We put it in the key, you have in computer and put it in my computer and.
And when you need it, we speak here.
Yes,
Yeah.
put it some picture nice, maybe some small somewhere. Would be really, you're welcome.
This is nice.
Yes, I think that we have a lot of work in ashram. Really energy and what's looking sweet, you know. We have a roof, all really nice pictures.
Okay, so the last thing, our model one, we'll try to really address again. We already addressed this in I think in the worship or in negative principles. So the purity or the cleanliness. So which is which usually known as a form of rules, and these rules are not many times is not. They are not maybe so logical for us. Logical or doesn't make sense or is so unpredictable or not common. Like this is few perspectives. And this topic is a deep topic. It's not so simple as we maybe think it is. So because it has Shastric rules, and I have this only in Slovene. When I was studying 11th canto Bhagavatam Uddhava Gita, you know, the famous part. There is one chapter, I think it's 21 chapter here. This is this. It's dedicated to this principle, and I will just address a little bit. Maybe it's a little philosophical, maybe, but I will try to be. So this is called discussion about cleanliness, called Shuddhi Vichar. Vichar means discussion or like argumentation or like discussion. Shuddhi about the cleanliness, and we have. So it's connected how to purify the existence of person, living entity in this material world. So there are three areas of this topic. So one is area, this is from one is when it goes for, you know, that you survive and for the health. This is called yatra artha. So when it's a very, you know, very critical situations or circumstances like war or something natural, whatever. When you are about to survive, you know. This is called, you know, this is, then we're talking about Shubha, Ashubha. Shubha means auspicious and Ashubha means inauspicious. What is safe, what is not safe, what is healthy, what is, you know, not healthy, what is, you know, profitable, what is, all this comes in this area of yatra artha, this area of life to survive and to be healthy. Then when is go for the ordinary things, this is mundane things, it's called vyavahara artha. This area of life. Now, then we're speaking about guna dosha. Dosha means mistake, guna means positive quality. So you have palatable and unpalatable food. You have better or not so good apartments. We have good, bad company or association, good and bad business. So this is ordinary things. This is not so important, but the next thing is important. When we speak about religious activities, this is dharma artha called, no? And then we have this shuddhi, ashuddhi, clean, not clean. And this is about area we are now speaking, because we're speaking about deity worship, we're speaking about the dharma. That's so I said this is the how, but it's all meant to uplift. I will say this is literally philosophical background. So what is moral? What is not moral? What is clean? What is unclean? What is pious? What is sinful? What is contaminated? What is uncontaminated? So this is all the field of dharma artha or religious activities, spiritual activities. And why this division is there? There are these four things. One is that we become less selfish. Our mentality is not so selfish. So to reduce the false ego. Then next is that we gradually uplift our consciousness to sattva guna. The next reason why we discuss this is that we protect ourselves from lower modes. And the next one, the last one, is that we try to limit enjoying spirit, enjoying free enjoyment, like enjoying spirit. This is the why this division is there. To uplift us to sattva guna, to protect us to tama guna, to reduce enjoying spirit, enjoying and also enjoying and controlling. That means, oh, it's okay. The matter is okay. Is like a, I don't care mentality. This is very important. No, it's not important. This is, we want to reduce, yeah, because it's neglectful. It's neglectful to the person we love. In our case, the deity. That means I don't care for him. That's the ultimate. I'm not care. But it's very many factors define. This is very interesting, the Vedas, because there are many situations which are exemptions. Like, for example, this cow dung and the scourge, right? It goes under the dung, and the bones are in the category of impure things, but they are not, because our Vedas say like that. So it's many things like that. Okay, I will not. So I will now shift to this. So we have in this religious, dharmic, we have 6 categories of shuddhi, purity or cleanliness. So we have to have understanding what is clean and what is contaminated. Purity and cleanness, there are 2 things, right? Some things can be clean but not pure. Ena stvar je lahko čista, ampak je kontaminirana. Naprimer.
Our sorry.
Yeah, so we have.
We are clean sari, but we are sitting somewhere.
It's clean outside, no? It's clean sari, and I touch with the fingers, right? Yes. Bless us.
Right.
So purity and cleanliness, right? This is the. So usually you're not aware of this purity, right? So there are 6 things in the deity worship which are described in the Shastra Bhakti Vilas, what we have to be aware of. 6 področji, kjer moramo biti zavestni. So one is purity of the place. Prostor. A pure place for worship is essential. If the place is impure, then puja will be ineffective. Care must be therefore taken. The puja begins to ensure the place is clean. So it can be there auspicious items and purifying with mantra. Usually it's by mantra. And the majority of times is using cow dung to purify the place. Spravi kravi gnoj se smatra, da lahko prečisti. In v Indiji, in India, many times they use cow dung in the floor. It's like a or the cement in the walls. For example, in Chopati, where my guru has a little small room, all room is made from the dust of Vrindavan and the cow dung. Oh, like no.
My grandmother used to.
Really? Yeah, also. Huh? So this is the place. You have to purify the place. Then next one is articles. What we offer to the Lord. This is called Dravya Shuddhi. All articles must be physically pure, so we have to clean them, and according to the Shastra. When physical purity is established, then are spiritualized with mantra and mudra. So must be grossly clean and subtly. Subtly, usually we do with the mudras, right? Mudras and mantras. One most famous mudra and mantras is for tilak, right? Om Keshavaya Namaha. This is mudra or tilak, and the mantra is that we purify this part of the body. This is for the articles. The next thing is purity of the body. Dravya here also means the cloth, right, which we use. So we don't use in this Slovenian version you can read. You'll see what is the purity of the articles. We can see just so many things. What can come and contaminate the article? If it's touched with another contaminated, here is written, if you can see there. So cloth can be purified by water, contaminated by urine, for example. The body is contaminated, we go to the toilet, but we can purify it with water and earth. This means soap. It's not enough water, right? Ganga can purify a person physically and spiritually. So this is the contact with how other article purifies the article or contaminate. This is one.
Surgery.
Yeah.
If you touch something which is not sterile, then.
Yeah. Here is interesting. It's called about. I think it's in this how alcohol is contaminating everything. This is interesting for comparing to that. So then you can purify by words, by hearing the mantras and hearing the Vedas. You're purified, right? But this is a kind of purification. Article is purified when Veda declared it is purified, like cow dung and when Brahmana, Guru says it's okay. This is very important. If the Guru Brahmana said, even though it's according, no, it's okay because Guru says like that. You understand? Yeah, this is the purifying because the Brahmana is representative of the Lord. He can authorize something like that. Okay, it's okay. you can do it. You know, it's purifying. That's interesting. Okay, then with the procedures, with some skaras, you can purify. For example, flowers and food is contaminated if we. That's contaminated flower.
Yeah.
And if we touch, it's also contaminated food. Okay, we know about the Achaman, is purifying the gross.
I have an example of this.
Yes.
I was a short time on this Hare Krishna. I came to the temple and Raja Sundari was making garlands. She had cuts with flowers there and they are so beautiful. And I took one and I smelled it and she said, "Oh, you can keep it." And I was like, "Oh." And she said, "Well, yeah, I'm making garlands." I was so, wow. And it was much, of course, how can I smell it? Yeah,
You.
yeah. So this is how I learned that I should not smell flowers before Krishna.
So okay, then it's a purity of the body. Because a person cannot approach the Lord in contemplative state, he must first purify his physical body by waking at proper time is one, bathing, wearing the ornaments of Vaishnava. Huh? Tilak, Kantimala, and Upavita. Upavita means Brahminical thread, Brahmanas, right? And
it's the thread.
Brahmanas, it's so for the, what is again? Proper time. That means if we are wake up in the Tamaguna after, we are not cleaned according to, we're not pure. Bathing, wearing the ornaments, like tulsi, no? In fresh clothes. But finer purity, state of purity, is meant with Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta Shuddhi is special procedure in deity worship when you purify with mantras. Прави, то е грубо, пречищене, субтилно, па е с мантрами. И се именува Bhuta Shuddhi. This is special mantras, or one mantra which is used in deity worship. We don't use it every day. This is before
That which we will have.
Achaman.
Yeah.
Achaman is also, but there are more. There are more which purifies the elements of the body. Water or the special mantras, but we don't use it every day. This is for them. But Achaman is some kind of purification also, no? It's combined from mantras, right? And nyasas. Nyasas means when you touch the body. And this is nyasa. So combination of the mantra that purifies the particular part of the body. So this is the level of when we speak about the cleanliness. This is for the Kali Yuga man, this is absurd. Right? This is okay. The fourth one is purity of the mind. Chitta Shuddhi is called. Huh? For the worshipper, the mind is the most important element. So mind is the most important. If the mind is impure, all other purificatory processes become insignificant. Че в уму nismo čisti, sve ostale procedure nima dovoljno smisla. That's why the attitude is so important, right? If you have this attitude of gratitude, if you have this mood, then everything.
And when we are cooking, that's why our products, which we cooked, have one taste for other.
Yes.
So we feel some.
But this is also for the all services, because it's the same taste for Krishna, right?
Yes.
Krishna is not only. Yeah, we can more relate. But usually for the all service is the same. Is palatable to Krishna if we have this mood, right? So it's very important. So all other processes assist the mind purification. Huh? So worshiping the Lord, this is Manasa Puja, or remembering the Lord. This is the more important. And then, of course, deity worship is. Then we have purity of the mantra. When it comes from Guru Parampara, of course, is more important. So you cannot, if you don't have Guru Parampara, there is no, the mantras which we use on the internet is not pure because they don't come to the.
Sure.
Yes. So then one impurity is offenses while chanting, that we know we deal with 10 offenses, right? So that effect will be less. We should try to avoid the offenses and pronounce mantras properly, then worshipper maintains the purity of the mantras. One also understanding, if you understand the mantra, is also pure. If you don't understand mantra, it's less pure. And the last one we just mentioned is the purity of the deity. This is related to the deity. When we worship the deity, right? When you do puja, when you worship the Lord, you have how to clean the deity. Huh? This is that, with tilak, with very soft cloth like that, no? And with mantras. So when these 6 cleanliness are perfectly executed, then Pujari can offer the articles. And then deity worship is success. So all these purities and cleanliness is all to bring us to Sattva-gun, right? This is important. That's why deity worship is so is a fast track, because if you do this daily, you're aware of these things. That's why Pujari usually are, they're aware of cleanliness. When you touch this, when you touch this, it becomes aware of them, because they deal every day. They are aware what is not pure. Why we don't sit, with clean on the cushion? Because if you see the people coming here, they were in the toilet and they sit on the same seat, and then we sit there, of course it's contaminated. Sometimes it's also when they touch, they eat or they go to the toilet, they doesn't wash their hands and they touch the kluka. That's why we are aware. That's why many times pujaris has with them, this, Ganga, which when you, especially when you have to touch things for the deities or serving devotees. For serving the prasadam is also the same standard, because serving prasadam is a deity worship also. I mean, serving prasadam comes into the deity worship, because when food is offered to the Lord, then it's distributed. So it's a part distributed for his devotees, or the public. That's why the person who is serving must have understanding what is pure, doesn't, touch the mouth, or with this touch the, what they eat, they touch the place. That's why this is important. So I give you that material for the home reading, and you can refer, because there's a lot of more details for that. And this, which I give in Slovene, is a study of, I can give you there.
A tukaj bi mi lahko tega samo ta izvod poslali, imate tako posebej, pa bi mogoče si samo dali v translate.
Yeah, majority is there in translation.
Yeah.
Majority, yes.
Ja, tam ni isto.
Not the same, but the same chapter, yeah.
What does it mean? I forgot.
Chandala is one who is meat eating. Chandala is low class. Yeah, one is Yavana. They say the Yavana is meat eating, but Chandala is one who doesn't follow the rules and is unclean. Unclean. Is not aware of this cleanliness, right? So these are some, maybe it's a little complicated, technical, but because usually so many times we are exposed to this different, why it's like that, why we're not aware, or we can also understand others why they are aware. why they are disturbed, you know, with some, because they have some understanding. So one thing is important here, that we try not so much to catch, oh, don't do like that, but we try to explain.
Yeah, to understand the principle.
Because not, you know, if we just don't do that, and it's not deep enough, and just spoil the relationship. And this is the most, we are here for the long run. So if something is okay, something is not according to how we understand, because it's a level of understanding, right? We try to understand how, you know, this, we try to explain when we're in contact with the toilet, then this becomes contaminated. It may be clean, but it's contaminated according to what I read in Hari Bhakti Vilas, or what I was taught, right? So we try to communicate in non-violent way, because not way, it's not, no, I just want to prove it, oh, it's useless. No, we are here to help each other understand deep for Krishna's pleasure, right? Only rules are not even effective if you don't understand why the rule is there. So if you want to establish Brahminic, we have to go deep. So we are educating, helping understand each other, and can be understood in many ways. No, we can say, okay, let's mention, you know, is one perspective, other perspective, different perspective. And there are also many circumstances. In the 11th canto, this is also when, you know, when this situation you can do like that, because this is more important rule for that situation, right? If something, you know, offering must be there, and you don't have something there, you just, okay, it's okay. You decide on the spot because of this, for the pleasure of the Lord to be on time, we do like that. Otherwise, we don't do like that, but in this situation, we do like that. But we have to know why we did it, right? It's not just, and we then do all the time. When it's normal, we go to the normal standard, right? So it's a, so when these things happens and will happen in the ashram, in the temple, we try to discuss, you know, not in the, like, you know, in the sattva gun and uplifting mode, right? This we heard, you know, not this sometimes is there, and because also the level of the standard always is in different places different, because the details are so many, so always is there some kind of a threshold. Okay, here is the line. Here is like here. In other temples, maybe here. In India, is up there. You know, so it's a different. So a different level of, because this is decision, this, you know, is we want to make this rule, and the idea is to go up, no? We start with here, and then we go, because it depends on the consciousness of the people. If you set too much rules of this on the lower level of consciousness, we are making violence. It's not good, because the rule must be according to this, that uplifts, not that downgrade. You know, it's that's why. When we all go to the one level, then we try to uplift. So with awareness that we want to make higher, 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 not lower, 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 lower. We don't seek the lowest standard. We seek the higher standard, right? We are here, we are humble, we cannot do, but our goal is there. Not that we say, oh, it's only ways, okay, it'll go down, down. We are watering down, no? If it now is like that, we try to maintain, and when we have purify for consciousness, we want to say, okay, we want to do better for Krishna. Let's do a little more offering, more cleanliness, more that, you know. That's the important mood. Yes. Oh, quarter past 1. So it's a topic is West. We don't want to go more in. At this point, probably I will. That's why I give you material when you have time or the situation. Try to read it a little bit. And then you will. I will send you.
Prvo sem, da bom jaz to pa še to, Šrimad Bhagavatam je v hrvaščini tudi 11. del, pa bi jaz to prebrala.
11? No, 11. It's complicated topic. It's not. It's difficult. It's difficult also to understand in English.
Okay.
This is the summary, and if you don't understand, just ask, because it's many perspectives.
Okay.
If you are making some kind of things and you are touching, I don't know, scratching, you can put Achmana
Yes.
in your hand.
Yeah, usually.
And that's why I'm taking the Achmana
Yeah.
beside me. Yeah, it's okay.
So important is awareness.
Aware.
Even so that we are aware of movement and that we serve the Lord. You can have some scratch and you do it. You know, and then you're aware. Okay, I touch the ear. No, because all the holes are contaminated, right? All the holes are contaminated according to the stand. So we touched, right? And okay, I touched this, so I have to purify. And then how to purify depends what you have. If you are where nothing is there, you purify by mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and you can proceed. No, for the Brahmanas, you know, if he touches something impure, he touches this here, right? Because here is the mantra, no? So it's a different way according to the, and if you have Achaman, you do Achaman, right? But important is that you were aware that I'm not clean, I'm not pure. This is the most important.
This was difficult in the beginning
It's most difficult.
when I started my career. Then everything was itching, everything.
Yeah.
That was, really.
Yeah, because then, you know, aware, oh, if it's something that's scratching here, you know, it's like that. But the important is we catch ourselves awareness. Oh, I touch. We should, that's, if we can, that's the most challenge because it has to go into your consciousness. You have to be aware, you know. I'm aware of ourselves, then we are aware of the presence of the Lord. Because that's why we are, you know, because we are neglectful.
First be conscious of yourself and then.
Yeah, that means sattva guna, right? The sattva guna means exactly that. And this is a huge transformation because we are all born in tamas and rajas. So this is a huge transformation. It's not like it's self. Yeah, it's not natural. It's impossible because you change the karma. You know, so this, when you become awareness, is a highly graded mercy that we are aware. So that's we have to be also understanding to other surrounding that we try that this is not, it's not an easy task. It's not no. We have to. That's why we have to be patient and to try to encourage. Okay, this is maybe and try to be compassionate for those who don't have yet this developed. They are that way, but okay, can maybe we have to pick the right time to correct, not like that. You do like that. Wow. It also can destroy, enthusiasm and awareness, whatever. Then, okay, a little patient. Okay, maybe that time when you touch this, maybe be aware because this is like, and you say why. This is the situation where we usually, it's not you must do like that. Usually we do like that because of that. So the intelligence can digest, ego can digest, then go deep, right? You just, it's mental, like, then ego will rebel. Who are you to tell me? You look at yourself, why? No, he doesn't do also. You have so many, and it's not, there is no effect of even correcting. No, it's all the ego clash, and it's not the desired result, outcome is not there. So we have to be really, a little bit tactical, strategical, and empathic, educational. This is this, when we are conscious, we are becoming aware of others' level or need or the method how they can accept. Properly, with proper mood, with gratitude, and that they will affect their consciousness and their life. So it's a process. It doesn't go. It's not like it's because we have to say this is transformation. This is a part of transformation. It's not just about breaking the rule. This is transforming. No, if people usually become against the rules, it's so difficult for me. They will not do transformation. They will have aversion. This is the greatest damage. They don't even say this is first. They don't understand. Don't understand why, and maybe they're not properly educated told, the baby told in the improper method. Ah, you rascal, you dirty pig, they are offended in this. It's not this, and it's a process of transformation, patiently, with enthusiasm. Yes, with the Christian pleasure, we'll try to do it. Let's do it. No, with inspiration, enthusiasm. Of course, this is the ideal. Doesn't happen every time, but this is how usually could work.
Bravo. I like to bring these papers yellow when in the flower rooms where we are chanting the mantra. I didn't know why I chanting, because it's no one to say me nothing about Achaman.
Achaman,
Bring next.
What is this, or why is this, or
What and why? Of course,
what is Achaman? Achaman is the
English also.
It's not in English. I will print today. The things you can do immediately, we do immediately.
Oh, Daria will come in December.
Yes. So Achaman is the procedure for cleanliness and purification of the gross and subtle body. You understand this? So this is how we purify gross. Se pravi, Achaman je postopek, s katerim prečistimo na grobem in na subtilnem nivoju naš telo. Eno od teh procedur, se pravi, da lahko pristopimo službi za božanstvo. Kaj je tle čistilna metoda? Se pravi, so mantre. Prvič je čista voda, zato ker v to vodo se mantra sveto ime, je prečiščena voda, potem je pa z njasami, različnimi mudrami, prečiščujemo različne dele tega telesa, da ga lahko vključimo v službi Krišne, za božanstvo. To je procedura, da se mi prečistimo, da smo pripravljeni za Krišno.
Jaz ga kar prosim, jaz se preberem v slovenščini, pa ga prosim, a mi to očistiš cel telo, da ti ga predam čistega. Mislim, ker še zdaj ne razumem, hkrati pa ne razumem, kjer list se za kaj bere. Ker en pride prav, kratkega preber, pa srečem, what, kaj pa je kratki Achaman? Pa ne vem, kjer je.
Kratki Achaman je prve 3 mantre samo.
Aha, tam, kjer je Namo Višnu pa daja.
Ko za tilak.
What we are doing for Tulasi, we have Tulasi, that's short one.
To je short.
Prve 3 mantre samo.
Dobro, ko pa kuhamo.
On je pa velik.
Ja.
So sometimes when we are not so skilled, pa da nismo še toliko izurjeni, pa da imamo to časovno, naredimo malega. If we are not so, we can do also small one if big one is too much anxiety.
Se pravi, mali je pa Namo Višnu pa daja.
Prve 3, tako.
No, that one, Om Keshavaya.
Samo to, kar imam.
Yeah, that's the short one. 3 times Om Keshavaya.
Yes, this is the smallest one.
Jaz grem skozi vse, pa še ne znam brat, pa grem pa kar v slovenščini in se tam polomim in se trudim, ampak.
Yeah, it takes time, so of course it's not simple because they are mantras.
10 minut za vse to. In kjer sebe vidim, da se ti tudi sežuješ nogavice, you put it sucks down.
Yeah, because it's
There's some rules. Okay, regarding the Achaman, there are a few rules. For Achaman. Par pravil je. Prvič, vedno naredimo bosi, and we are not covering the head also. So this is the first rules. And then we have 2 options to do. One is sitting, we sit and we do like that, or we kneel, like for a tulsi. But this knee must, right knee is down, not left, right. Desno koleno, ko čepimo, damo desno koleno dol, ne? Vemo? Ne levo. Desno. To so 3 pravila. Spravi, smo bosi, nijemo glave pokrite, pa desno čepimo, to, ko imamo pa recimo tulsi aratjo.
Obema, tako sem na tleh z obema.
Eno, ponovadi je za desno. A pa sedite, ne? Če čepite pa z 2, pa morate sedeti. Ne, da se naprej nagene, ne?
Like Guru Chandrananda told us when we were at her place. She showed us in the hallway, remember?
Yeah.
How she's making, that she's kneading. she's putting the right
Yeah.
knee down and she's making Achman.
No, se to naredim, da jaz to koleno dam tudi pri tulsi. dol.
Ja, vse to je
isto.
to je isto.
Aha.
To je isto.
Okay.
Tisto, kar delate pri Tulsi, je malo jače manj, ne?
Okay.
On je pa večji, ne? Of course, there are 20 mantras. That's why they are difficult for chanfers in the beginning. Znači, jasno, ker je top mantra and also mudras, we are not skilled. But if you do every day, then usually 3 months, then we
Ja, se
remember.
že takole, potem takole, potem
Yeah, there is a procedure. Yeah.
And then I don't remember.
tako, tako.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, if it's meditation and we do consciousness is a powerful procedure. Zelo močna procedura je, če smo zavestni, ne? Če imamo časovno, nismo tam, pa nas do vznemirja, ne?
Okay.
When we have to do many times, we can do also small, not that every 5 minutes we do the big one. When we start in the beginning and in between, if something happens, we do a small one. No, just.
Aha, se pravi, če zjutraj kuham, pa če popoldne delam garlande, potem je dovolj, če naredim malega za garlande.
Ja, če vam je zelo težko, ne, če vam to vzame 15 minut, lahko naredite. Bo šlo?
Ja, mislim, bom se že naučila, sploh ni vprašanje.
Yeah,
No,
I like the situation previously.
Yeah, because it's words also, it's very difficult for me in Sanskrit. No.
Yeah, there are names, the Lord. There are 20 names.
Pa berem in živim. Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe you just.
It's on YouTube, but then it's also very fast. You know, you have to have your phone with you when you are making it to be fast like that person.
No need to fix. If you're in the time difficulty, do small.
Ja, če
You know, if the time is annoying and you're disturbed, also do small. Okay, this is for the end of the model 1. We will not do any exam for the first generation. Next generation we have colloquial, so we can remember more. But this time is more discussed in the small groups.
Oh, laser.
Yudhar Maharanam Sankirtan Yagi, Shila Prabhupada ki.